It's no secret. People are switching to Arm & Hammer.
My name is Ilse Singer. I have been in cat rescue for 20 years. I know cats, I know cat odors. Arm & Hammer Double Duty Cat Litter neutralized both urine and feces odors.
Only Double Duty Clumping Litter combines advanced odor eliminators with Arm & Hammer baking soda to destroy urine and feces odor on contact, guaranteed, or your money back.
I think it's a high-quality product. I see a lot of value in it. I will switch to Double Duty Cat Litter.
Switch to Arm & Hammer. You'll never go back.
You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's WWE SmackDown After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's WWE SmackDown After Show.
I always like this little drum intro. There we go. You guys ready?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Welcome to SmackDown After Show. I'm your host, Ric Drasin, and today, my co-host, Angelina, Glow Little Egypt, is here. And we have a couple of special guests. I'm going to let you introduce them first.
Oh, okay. Well, it is my honor, Rick, to introduce Mando Guerrero. And for those of you who are not familiar with the Guerrero family dynasty, the legacy of the Guerrero family, I wouldn't understand why you would be watching the show and not have some type of familiarity with that name. You've heard of the Von Erichs and the Funks of Texas, the Hearts of Calgary, and the Briscoes of Oklahoma. They're just a few of the wrestling family dynasties that are out there. And the expression second generation is used to define like a father-son legacy. Well, the Guerrero family has a legacy that matches the Hearts dating back now 4 generations with Rachel Diaz in the farm team down there in Florida, right? Sure. So it is my honor to introduce to you Mando Guerrero. Thank you for being here.
Well, it's a pleasure. Pleasure being here, and hello to everybody out there. My name is Mando. That is short for Armando, but
Mando.
Everybody calls me Mando.
Now, Mondo's legacy, let me just, because I know he's not going to say this, so I want to say it for him. Mando is the 3rd youngest of the Guerrero brothers. He spent the majority of his career wrestling in the California territory. The most famous stint in his career was when he appeared in the AWA in the late 80s. Mando teamed up with Hector and Chavo in both 6-man tag team actions and in regular tag team action where the brothers were unable to capture the AWA tag team titles for Bad Company. But during those years, Mando would win several American titles.
Yeah, wow. You know, you go around your career and you shoot for that. That's everybody's want is that one belt. What that means is that you'll get the opportunity to earn more money for one, and to be a star. You sort of climb the ladder once you conquer a belt. And I was very fortunate to capture the America's belt here in this territory, which is the Olympic Auditorium and the Hollywood Wrestling Office.
Which were the best days ever.
For me, it was.
For me, too. Because that's where we're from.
That's right.
That's
That's how we
long
met.
I've known him.
I know, total old school.
Well, I want to say something here. You know, it's his fault that... well, Rick's fault. Then I shouldn't say his fault. He was sort of my first guy that taught me how to make a resume. You were the one. They told me you were in the business. You were in the dressing room, and I walked up to you and I said, "Hey, man, what do you got? A picture head."
Yeah. And
you said you need a resume, and you said, "What's that?" So you gave me one of yours. I don't know if you remember the picture you had with carrying a ladder or
I remember
board.
That. Yeah,
that was the one.
I'll be darned.
It was that resume package you loaned me, and out of that one, I sort of started comprehending what I had to do.
And then you started doing stunt work.
No, actually, I started as an extra, but that was my goal, stunts.
Yeah.
Because I was already there.
Exactly.
The body, you know what to do and control it and all that. I just learned the other skills. But yeah, and I'm very happy to say that I did 33, and I'm just about to retire right now. They've been offering me early retirement, and
You're only 39.
exactly. So I don't know why they look at it. Must be all this white hair.
You know,
My no hair.
it's not very often that we get to have someone who comes from such a legacy. When you can count them on your hand how many dynasties there are in wrestling. Your dad, Gory Guerrero, came from the Lucha Libre dynasty. Lucha Libre wrestling, excuse me. Tell me a little bit about what it was like to be his son. Did he throw you in the ring? Was that something you wanted to do?
Oh yes. That was his form of punishing my brother and I, like discipline.
Yeah. Wow.
We had a ring in the backyard, and he would take us to this long workouts where you would do such things as wrestling bridges, which is I don't know who you guys don't know what that is, but it's where you lay down and flat on your back and you bridge up to your head and balance yourself with your legs, and you had to hold that for a minute, and also go from there to a headstand. Mm-hmm. From headstand, you would roll and kick up and back into another headstand and control. So we got a lot of that little mat calisthenics that we would do. What did this to me was, and for my career, was have such control of the ring and the ropes and the balance that to be able to perform and to do. I'm a short man. I'm 5'6", and everybody was way bigger than I was. And what that could have been a negative, I turned it into a positive because of those calisthenics I learned. I could throw a somersault way from the top rope, which is a good 4 or 5 feet tall. I could dive in the middle into the ring and land on a somersault and stand up. I could stand on my head on the top rope. I could do stuff like that, and it's all due to those calisthenics. We're boys.
You were better than most of the guys around. And I worked for your dad in San Pedro.
Yes.
At the movie theater.
Right.
Remember that place?
Yeah, it's still there.
The dressing room upstairs.
Yeah.
He was a great guy.
Well, you got a guy like that, man. He would take us to these workouts. In those days, you're talking the 50s.
Yeah.
In the 60s.
Yeah.
My dad would go. He would come home from a long trip, and instead of staying home, and he would go to these gyms, and he would the press would follow him.
Yeah.
And the newspapers and the of that time, and they sit there and they see him just work out.
Yeah.
And he could do a whole 2-hour workout by himself in the mat, and just show him. My dad had a neck, man.
He was incredible.
He had a neck size. What is now the extra large? He had double extra large, and he could. At the end of his life, he had a hump, what they call the Brahma bull hump.
Yeah.
The Dowager's hump?
Dowager's hump. Yeah.
Yeah, something in the back. It was like that, and I think it was due to all that. He, of course, a herniated disc there somewhere.
Yeah.
Those days you really didn't know unless you went into, real deep into. He never bothered, but he did. He just complained all the time about it.
Well, at that time he was promoting. He was just promoting. He wasn't wrestling then.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, then he started that promotion when he hit the 40s, and he started right there in El Paso, Texas, which is a border town.
Right.
And then 7 years into Eddie was born, and that time he crossed over and also started promoting Lucha Libre.
Yeah.
So if you were a wrestling fan at that time living in El Paso, you had Saturday mornings live TV show.
Yeah.
Sunday morning another live TV show. Sunday afternoon a wrestling live TV show, and then Monday night the blow off from the TV show that was played on Saturday in the United States. So we promoted 2 nations, 2 cities, 2 languages, 2 styles of wrestling.
That's right.
All in one weekend for over 20 some odd years.
That's a lot.
And I grew up with
a lot of stuff.
Amazing.
And I am very proud to say this. That hardly nobody likes to say this, but I am. I can set up a ring, brother, and nobody will ever get hurt in my rings because I know how to set up a ring.
I've seen you do it many, many times.
Wow.
Yeah,
many times.
It's the down of the totem pole job for wrestling is to set up a ring. You always used to just get the guys that want to come in, but man, I pride myself on that. I really do enjoy it. To get in shape, you build one and break it down, By the time you finish, you had a whole day's workout.
Oh man, that's a job. That's a job.
Well, we are going to be.
You got a ring. I remember that.
I do.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he has a wrestling school.
Yeah.
Rick has a wrestling
Did
school.
you want to introduce Eddie?
I do want to introduce Eddie. Eddie is actually a working wrestler right now.
Indie wrestler.
Indie wrestler. Just came off of a show. Tell us a little bit about that, Eddie. It's Eddie Santos, right? No, what is the last name?
Esparza.
Esparza.
What's your wrestling name?
My wrestling name is Spectre.
Spectre. Okay. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I've been doing this for about 8 years now,
Mm-hmm.
and I've had the opportunity to go international. I've been to Mexico. I go out of state. I haven't been anywhere near these two right as of yet. I do plan to, of course, but right now I'm just paying my dues. I do build the rings just like Mando says. It is a workout for any age, anybody. And right now, you might hear it in my voice. I just got off of a show in Santa Ana. One of these guys, mutual friend Martin, he just promoted a menudo. I think it's a menudo festival.
Wow.
It was a really, really nice lucha show, about 300 people, and you're hearing. I'm just a little tired and fighting the traffic to get back here, but. And right now, I'm one of Rick's instructors on the weekend.
Oh, wonderful. Well, wrestling has come a long way. It's come from the Gory Guerrero days up to what we're seeing right now, like SmackDown television, which aired this Friday. And we're here to talk about that after show.
Let's do it.
Right away, what came out was a promo. Daniel Bryan comes into the ring. By the way, the crowd just loves Daniel Bryan. They are so fired up and worked up about him. He basically liked the show as far as he was very disappointed in Randy emotionally in that little promo. Randy comes out to try and console him, but it doesn't go well. He pats Daniel on the head.
Yep.
Daniel completely takes that the wrong way, is insulted, has another emotional tantrum, and vows to beat Randy in the 6th match of SmackDown. So what did you see that?
Yeah, this is his mental state right now. He's supposed to be, doesn't trust anybody. Everybody's out to get him, and no one's helping him. And Orton was sincere about what he did, But that's what he's supposed to be doing right now. So it's going to continue for a while.
It's working.
I'm getting kind of tired of the beard, though.
I saw, I started following him on Twitter. I think he's got some type of a razor gimmick coming along the way, so it's going to be interesting to see. He's such a handsome man, and when that beard comes off, it's going to be fun to...
He'll be a baby.
Yeah, yeah.
I like seeing him because he's a very, very good amateur wrestler.
He's very good.
Yeah,
he came out of that at the amateur ranks top notch, and to convert himself into a professional, knowing it's a mental thing that you go through when you go from amateur to pro, okay? Because you expect this competition to be the same that you were experiencing as an amateur. But when you come to pro, you got to use what you have, and then turn it into professional. And that we all know now that wrestling is a show that we put on, but with real wrestling happening at the same time.
Yes.
So we have this thing that you go through. And he's caught up very well. It was interesting to see him at the beginning, and my thing was to see how fast he will get it, and he's done very well, very well.
Absolutely.
I think he's even done better than this other MMA wrestler came in. What's his name?
Who?
Which one? There's so many.
Are you talking from Dan Severn or Shamrock from back in the day?
Recently?
Yeah, recently. What's his name? Big white guy. He was in WWE, and then he went back to...
Oh, you're talking
about Lesnar?
Yeah,
Lesnar. Yeah, Lesnar. Now, I think he had a harder time getting into pro attitude than this guy.
Yeah, it seemed like he never adjusted to it.
Yeah.
He didn't, and then he went back to that wrestling, that fighting, and then now he's back.
Now he's back again.
And we see what we see now. We'll see what he's.
But Daniel's he's in the ring constantly every day.
Yeah.
Every day. And you know how it is when you have injuries, and I'm sure he has some. How you keep the energy and that energy level going and being up like he is not easy to do.
No, it's not. And he's also a small man.
Yeah.
He's a smaller man than the big guy, so that takes double work.
And he's over more than the big guys.
Yeah, yes, it is.
People like him.
And all it is that knowing that wrestling,
Yeah.
you see that he's poised.
Yeah.
And if something happens up there in the ring, which you know it happens all the time.
All the time.
He can handle himself.
Yes, he can.
He can handle it. So I'm very glad to see a guy like that. I really am.
So this started out as a promo, and they were upset because the match had stopped, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because he got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
But did he get hurt? I didn't see where he got hurt. I mean, they ran it, they showed it, but I don't know what happened to him.
Well, I think just the nuts and bolts of it was it just set up that 6 match really nicely. I mean, they did a great job. It was like about an 8-minute promo.
Yeah.
Randy.
But why did they stop the match? I saw the doctor and he stopped it and this and that, but I didn't see him hurt.
No, I don't have any. I actually don't remember that.
Did you see it?
That's a detail that I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't see that.
All right,
So we've got the first match. Sheamus comes out, right, with Cody Rhodes, and Sheamus wins with a cloverleaf submission, only to get beat down by Rhodes' tag team partner Damian Sandow. But I will tell you, it was an excellent match.
It was an excellent match.
Cody's really a good worker.
He's good, and he's put some size on, but he did one little thing in that match that really caught my eye.
What was that?
I want to know if you saw it. There was one little trick he did.
No.
It was so odd.
What was it?
When he went outside the ring, he pulled the apron and he fell off the ring.
Oh, I thought that was supposed to be like that. I thought it was a work.
That's hard to plan. I mean, I'm sure it probably was.
It was good.
But
it
he snapped it like a rubber band bang and he went down. I thought, that was really clever. I've never seen that done before.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the time it looked like he really slipped.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
No.
Yeah.
No.
There was a lot of really good work in that match.
Yeah.
I am really good back and forth, and then Damian Sandow coming in to deliver some tough blows to Sheamus. So
I mentioned it to you, didn't I?
Yeah, she's been national.
When he yanked the thing, and I ran it back again. I had to see it again because it was just the timing was just perfect.
Yeah.
It's like if you're walking and all of a sudden I hit you in the leg with a rubber band, you just collapse, and it's it was just it really got me when I saw it. I thought, this is so cool.
Did anyone see Sheamus's cut on the back from like the earlier match? Like I think it was last week. He gets a bad cut in his match, and now you can actually see it healing on his back shoulder. I thought that was interesting.
Was that from?
Well, his last match, and we couldn't figure out exactly how that happened. If it was on the ropes, it was when he was going outside the ring, but he was cut and he was bleeding, and now you can see that the actual wound is healing.
When they hit those tables, that happens too. They're sharp.
Yeah, holy cow. So we get a quick little Wyatt Family vignette. It doesn't really change much. It's the same vignette we've been watching for weeks and weeks. But boy, I'll tell you, I'm very excited about this Wyatt family coming in. They've got it's a great story. I mean, I can't wait. They're scary.
What are they doing with him exactly?
Well, I think they're just going to play crazy.
That's it?
Don't you think?
Like the Wrong Turn movie where you come against the mutants and all the crazy people. Your car gets stuck out in the middle of nowhere and all these families come
I don't know.
One of those kind of things.
I don't know. I don't see him pulling off anything like what the Shield's doing. I see it being totally more disturbing.
Yeah, disturbing, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, there have been so many families that have grabbed the crazy gimmick to act like they're crazy, or they get a little flip off or something. And I really haven't seen one that nailed it yet.
Not really.
Not really. I haven't really convincing. I still haven't to do. And I had one of my family members, Chavito, when he first started. He was a little wacko, type of guy, and he still didn't get it. And I wonder if I could do it. I never was told to do it. I did wrestle under the mask one time. I'm sorry.
Oh no! Yeah. Tell us about that. Wow.
Of course, there are too many Guerreros in one territory. Somebody had to do something, and I chose to go into under a mask. And this was in Mexico, and it was in '95. And I chose a mask that was ugly. And I think you know this one. This is the mask that was used here on that movie that we made with Steve Strong, and he was the mask guy. He had a big deformities in his face, and so I went up to Steve and I said, "What'd you do with that mask?" Because he kept it, wardrobe, and he showed it to me, and I borrowed it and I took it to a mask man here in L.A. and he doubled it as much as he could, but he did real good because he put a lot of sponges and a lot of warts in here, and it worked very well. Very well, and I took that to Mexico, and I called myself the psychopath. and I went in, and it was a lot of work. Wow. Oh, I had to work double because you got to act crazy, and that takes a lot of energy.
Yeah, well, there's a couple of things. Number one, it's hard to breathe.
Oh, yeah.
And you get overheated. And number two, you have no facial expression.
Yeah.
So your body language is completely different.
Absolutely.
We just talked about that.
Yes.
Yes.
So you got to be different with your body language.
Yes.
What was the movie he did?
What? God, that was it. I choreographed all the wrestling. No, what was it? Something about wrestling. I forget, man. It'll pop right now. It'll pop into my brain right now.
You know,
I should have bought my resume.
The one I loaned you.
I copied your style.
It is so funny we're talking about the Wyatt family right now and the serial mentality of them, because there is a new movie out, produced by Maria Menounos. And for those of you who don't know, Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro are the brain. This is their brainchild, AfterBuzz TV, and it doesn't cost anything to download these shows. They take the engineers are posting them on YouTube. They're running a very, very successful website where you can go in and listen to these podcasts, and all this doesn't cost the listeners or the viewers $1. But there is a way that you can support Maria and Kevin, and that is to download their new movie called Serial Buddies.
That's
if
right.
you haven't seen that,
Yeah.
that is just a really funny, kind of crazy movie that has tons of guest stars.
Big names.
Big names like Kathy Gifford, and a lot of people come in to do these little cameo appearances. And so, if you like the content of the shows that we're providing here on AfterBuzz TV, please show your support and just download the movie for them. I really appreciate it, and we would really appreciate it.
I saw the trailer.
It's good, huh?
Yeah, it's good.
Really, really good.
Different.
So back to the matches. Sorry to go off topic with that, but we were talking about crazies, and Serial Buddies just came to my head. Curtis Axel comes out. He successfully
Another crazy.
Yeah,
Really?
he successfully defends his Intercontinental title against former champion Wade Barrett. So, again, another really, a really, really well done match by these two pros. And Curtis Axel, who I wasn't really on his bandwagon weeks ago, because I was waiting for him to develop. I didn't know how Paul Heyman was going to work with him, and I didn't really.
Fast.
Yeah, they did. They pushed him really fast, and he's doing really well. Really well.
And he's doing well. He's handling it. I saw that because he's third generation.
Right.
Yes.
And I'm seeing him, and I said, well, they need new stars. He's got everything. He's got the look. He's got the height. He's got the body. He knows the business well. He's climbing fast.
Yeah, sure.
He is climbing fast, and that is good.
Yeah.
I hope he continues in the same way.
It's good to see, second, third, fourth generations going, like the Ordens too, of course, because they keep the, can't say kayfabe anymore, but they keep the mystery of the business and they bring it to the table.
Exactly.
They bring in a respect that is needed.
Yeah.
And if they see that leadership in the dressing room, the rookies, and they see how they act, then, they grow with that. And they develop that, and that is where the business is made.
Exactly.
It's in that dressing room. Dressing room to me is the sacred part.
Yeah.
You got to earn the right to step into a professional wrestling dressing room.
Exactly. And years ago, it was kayfabe. No one came in.
And that's right. That was
Nobody.
Nobody came in. It was very.
Today,
sacred.
people are walking through buying popcorn and stuff.
Oh my goodness.
Yesterday, I had a fan just waltz into my MPW show. Please leave.
Oh my goodness.
They don't care anymore. Some of these fans.
Well, it's the promotion. That's what my criticism would be. It's the promotion.
Yeah.
The promotion's got to put that down. Now, Jesse wanted me to work with him. Jesse Hernandez.
Yeah, we had him here, 2 weeks ago?
We did.
Awesome. Yeah. He has his own little crew going. He brought me in. He says, Mando, what do I need here? I need to make it better. So we talked, and I said, well, just let me be in the show and see what happens. I'll criticize as I go along. And that's what I did. I told him, you need to overhaul your dressing room. Your dressing room sucks, man. You got wives in there, the children running around. I mean, come on.
Yeah, you can't do that.
You can't do that. You gotta show the respect. You gotta get it. So I try helping him with that, and I think I got the message through to the guy, to a lot of talking to these guys, and let them know that you gotta respect that.
I'm sure they don't do that at WWE.
No.
Yeah, I don't think the wives and the kids are allowed to run around.
They got good
backstage.
security. What happened when Miz came in and he challenged Curtis Axel?
Well, that's basically what he did. He gets in the ring and he challenges Curtis to a match. didn't happen,
Didn't
but he
happen.
challenged it.
Went nowhere. No, he backed off.
Right. What I was really, as that went on, it's a storyline that's developing. But did you see Mark Henry's promo?
Yes, I did.
Wasn't that absolutely amazing?
Yes.
I mean, I honestly bought that hook, line, and sinker.
I did too.
Gosh, he's good.
And then.
God.
And then tragedy struck.
Well, let's kind of break down what that promo was. Mark Henry gets in the ring to do this heartfelt, emotional farewell speech. Right? Cena's leaving, and he does this great. He puts Cena over big time, and Cena, he's looking like really, appreciative of Mark Henry, who's finally getting ready to retire, and he's going to go out, with good graces, and they're going to have a clean slate, and they're going to pat each other on the back, and that's going to be, how they remember the legacy. And then Cena gets back in the ring, and Mark Henry picks up their arms, holding the belt, and then from there he picks Cena up and he just body slams him. And let me just read you a quote from that. He says, "You think it's that easy? I got a lot left in the tank." I love that line.
I saw that, yeah.
I loved that line. Oh my God.
So he's not retiring?
No way. He's got one more in him for sure, because it's going to be a build-up with
Cena.
Cena.
Like he wants to retire, but he's not going to let him retire, right? He says, if you want to retire, you take this with you, but Cena wants to retire clean and on top.
Right.
So it's a great gimmick. I mean,
the thing, you're right. The thing is, nobody ever retires. They retire, they have a retirement party, then they come back again for one more time.
Right.
And they get the party, they get the gifts, they retire, come back again. Get another party, get the gifts, retire, come back again. I'm going to try that. I'm going to retire from something.
Haven't you already retired like 3 times?
I'm going to retire from something else. I'm not sure what.
Well, I got to tell you, I just, Mark Henry, he's in tears. He is literally in tears delivering this speech where he talks about his kids and it was so awesome. It was so awesome because I'm just thinking that guy's got skill.
It's very believable.
Oh my God, without a doubt, probably the best promo work I've ever seen.
By now. I mean, God.
Got enough experience. My goodness.
Wasn't he main event one of the WrestleManias well back with? He wrestled the Undertaker, and he was supposed to be the one to break the streak.
Maybe that's why he had tears.
He did very good in that match. It's amazing.
Yeah,
big man,
very powerful man too.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He picked up Cena like he was nothing. We go right into the Divas match.
Which you should be happy about.
Which I was thrilled about. And I'm so glad Mando's here to talk Divas. Because for those of you who do not know the relationship that Mando Guerrero has with the GLOW production. Right. The GLOW girls. He was our trainer when GLOW first launched. It launched here in LA. Yeah. And if you want the details of Mando's story, you can always, rent or buy GLOW, the story of the gorgeous ladies of wrestling. But Mando was instrumental in how we learned how to wrestle. Although Mando didn't come to the Riviera Hotel when the show got moved to the Riviera, we did not have any other trainers. It was Mando.
It was the official double cross. I mean that we see so much in this type of business.
Never happens, right?
Never happens.
So clean.
But everything that you taught us, chin to the chest, slapping out, clean bumps, landing flat, all that we learned because you set it in motion. And all we did was duplicate it when we came to Las Vegas. No one else replaced Mando. It was just other workers training other workers. So I want to thank you, even though you didn't officially train me. I feel like I learned from your style. And
well, he's going to give you a run through today, he said.
Yeah, are we going to bump?
Right here.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it. So the Guerrero family has a huge legacy with female wrestling and helping to launch what I think is the Diva and the Knockout division.
That came in and I was making a decision. I was already hitting 40, and I had to make a decision. And my mentor, Gene LaBelle, stopped me and he said, "Okay, you're not going to be champion of the world, are you? You think is that left your head already?" Says because you're not. You're 5'6". You're not going to go, right? So he sort of talked to me about it. So he says, the stunt business is this, and that. Going to the Olympics as much as we did, we would see all these production offices there all the time. You see and I would sit there. I would go early when I knew there was a production being filmed in there, and I would just sit there and look. And that got my interest. So I one day I got a an interview with a producer. They had called Mike LaBelle to write a script when the Screen Actors Guild went into a strike in 1977.
Mm-hmm.
And they called me. Mike called me and says, "I don't want this guy here. They always telling us we're fakers. I don't want him here. I want you to just go to this interview, get rid of him. You got open door. Say whatever you want, cuss him out, do whatever." And I did. And I went with this, and you guys this, and screw you. Yeah, big mouth, big words, and all that. And I walked out there laughing and everything. But Gene told me one thing. "Hey, man, ask him for an A card. See what he tells you." At the end of that, I went, "Man, what about an A card? I want an A card." So he took me on the challenge, and then one day I'm home, and I was traveling to San Jose, and my wife calls me and says, "Hey, man, some guy from Lower My Productions called and says to show up tomorrow in stage 18." And so I did. I drove all the way from San Jose, no sleep. I went straight to 18. He took me in and got me Knots Landing. I said, "Mechanic," and I had to say one word. All I had was, I said, "Good morning, Mr. Fairchild." That wasn't my word. I got what do you call it? What was that? What they?
SAG card.
SAG card.
Yeah, but they called it that little
a waiver.
Yeah, but it's it'll run to me right now. But that's the way I got it.
I think it's called a waiver, and then you can go ahead and join.
You're right.
Yeah.
I got my
Taft-Hartley.
Taft-Hartley. That's exactly the word I was looking for. That's how I went in. And I paid my dues, which is $400 at that time.
I paid $369.
Really?
So, and now it's like $3,000.
$3,000. Yeah.
Well, the girls' match, since you trained with the girls, I mean, this girls' match was okay. AJ's pretty good, and Natalia's good too.
I got to tell you, I was really impressed with the submission holds. Yeah. And AJ, she does this kick off the top rope, right to the back of Natalya, and I just thought, awesome. I mean, these girls, we weren't doing that type of wrestling. I mean, wrestling has to evolve, and it did. And these girls are out there, and they're trying really, really hard, and they're putting on good matches, really, really good matches. Natalya delivers an over-the-shoulder fireman carry spin. Did you see that? Like over one shoulder, she's spinning AJ. I thought that was awesome.
But I do like the first submission hold.
Yeah, why?
I thought that was really good. It was clever the way it
worked. Oh, okay. I thought you were going in a different
direction. I just the way it came off, and then she grabbed the rope, of course.
Yeah.
But that's a good hold.
Yeah.
I haven't seen her use that.
Yeah. And then what does she finish her off? She finishes Natalya off with I think it's called the Black Widow submission hold, which was really nice. And so AJ sells it, and they work really, really well together. Then this whole thing happens in the back room where Kaitlin's back there with one of her buddies, and they're kind of watching this play out on the monitor, right? And then she gets teased. Another worker comes up. It's Oksana. Do you remember?
Sure,
She kind of sneaks in and just throws it in Kaitlin's face. Mm-hmm. Now here's kind of where I'm at with this whole thing. I think Kaitlin just, she can't just haul off and attack people and not do the same thing to AJ. AJ is the one that's provoking her to do all this. When is she not going to be afraid of AJ? When is AJ going to be at that point where she's not going to continue to make Kaitlin cry? When is Kaitlin going to become empowered in herself and say, this is it, you're my problem, and then just go after AJ? That's going to be, if that's the storyline, I'm excited about that.
I think it sounds like what in the 1960s with Moondog Mayne and his mentor. I mean, Moondog Mayne was a wrestler that played it crazy, and he did damn good. He was damn good crazy, man. Like a little dude, And I tell you, that he played that, and his manager would slap him in the middle of the ring. He wouldn't lift the finger, and everybody's like mad at the manager that was slapping him all the time and using him for everything. And he did this for years, and then finally, that one time, the Moondog just slapped him back. It popped the house.
That's right.
And they brought it back over and over and over, and they made nothing but money with it.
I saw a fan take a cigarette, and he flicked it at Moondog Mayne, and it hit him in the chest and caught all of his chest hair on fire.
Really?
Yeah, it went up in smoke. Like right now, it's a.
That was before the guys were shaving their chests. That was before the day.
Yeah. I put hair on my chest, actually. So.
Did you?
I glued it on.
Did you? Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Well, match number 4.
Jericho?
Alberto Del Rio.
Yep.
Right?
Alberto Del Rio.
Fights Jericho.
Yep.
And wow, holy cow! First of all, do you like Alberto Del Rio?
I like him very much.
God, he's got charisma. I've said that over and over, man.
That family he comes from is their structure of their body
Yeah.
And their walk. Remember Mil?
Sure.
The way he walked.
Sure.
You know, he comes from that family, and
Like a cat.
they have that walk.
Like a cat.
Yeah, and it's a normal thing. It's just like the way they walk, the way they move, and everything. And so he's got that.
Yeah.
And I like that.
And
they're
he's
very
so-
handsome up there very handsome.
Yeah.
The body structure and everything.
Yeah.
Well, Mil looks like him without his mask.
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
He's still
Yeah.
working.
Well, he's got the nose. He's got that nose, the way the structure.
Yeah, yeah.
Mil is working. Yeah, I heard.
Was he 70-something?
He's there.
Yeah.
He's there. He's bald too, dude.
Good.
Good day. I agree.
Well, it should
Right. So Jericho's a 6-time world champion, and this is Alberto Del Rio's first. He carries the belt. He's the current world champion right now. He comes out with his, and it's not his manager, and I've been saying it's his manager. It is his official announcer.
Sure.
Right.
I correct myself for that. So he has his guy Ricardo come out. He does this awesome announcement every time Alberto
he's
comes
great.
in. I just. Yay! And now they're really working Ricardo. He's becoming more instrumental in the matches as just kind of like supportive Alberto, kind of helping him out, kicking under the when everyone's back's turned. Whatever Alberto needs, this guy is there to help
Always.
him out. The match itself was really, really good, and I have always been a Jericho fan, but I just so enjoy watching him work because he's so clean, effective.
Very polished.
Oh my gosh! It's
And with
just,
Del Rio was perfect.
Yeah, yeah.
Did he cut his head, Del Rio?
You know what? It looked like it, didn't it? Yeah, I was wondering how that happened. I couldn't. It's so hard to try and find what it was that caused it. But
You can, it happens. You don't even know where it came from.
Yeah.
But he did cut his head.
Yeah. But Jericho is, gosh, he's so good on, flipping around that ring, jumping off the top ropes, flipping onto.
He's seasoned.
Yeah,
Jericho
he
says
is.
he's seasoned. He's very seasoned now.
Yeah,
Well,
he
it's the
is.
same thing with Mando.
Gymnastics.
Mando was all over the place. Didn't even take a deep breath.
I know. I know.
Oh, come on. All right.
You know, one of the things Mando did for us is that he, when he was talking about those drills, he wasn't kidding. That's all we did was drill after
Yeah.
drill after drill. I mean, it was
important.
3/4 rolls, constant slapping the mat, so that it becomes second nature. So we're
Yeah.
really not thinking as we're flying which way our head is going and taking clean bumps.
It does become second nature.
Now, in the documentary, the Glow documentary, Mando talks about when he's in the ring, there was a young girl auditioning to be a Glow girl, and she made fun of wrestling.
Yes.
And is it true that you put her in a chokehold?
I put her in a sleeper.
A sleeper.
A sleeper, and that's what I was talking about, the dressing.
You know why? He's been hanging around with Gene too long.
It's not that. It's just
like
that it's not painful. It's not painful, but it puts you to sleep, and then when you wake up, you got this fear or this, what happened to me, right? Because you were out. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but that's what I'm trying to tell you about the respect that is necessary. If I hadn't done that, I would have lost the girls. I would have lost them all. And they need to respect, and when you don't know. And you try to talk to them, and you're talking, and they're talking here and laughing and all that.
Yeah.
That's not putting attention. That's an insult to me.
Yeah.
So this girl was like that, and I just go, come here. You don't believe it? Come here. Boom. Put her out. She came out. It just took one, and they all of them came set up and everything. They all set up and they were listening, and I had no more problems with them.
Yeah.
Because it was hard, and I didn't know how to put it together, and I was putting it together. I would dream about it. It was a great experience for me. Once again, I wanted to say this. I had to make that decision, and this is when Red Bastien was working with WWE, and he had an office here. I don't know if you remember that. And I went and I sat with him, and I told him, and he said, "I can't leave those things alone. The brides, they're always just special. That's all. But then this won't work." It says. But and then I had Gene, and then Gene says, "Get it all." So that was my decision. I still had that. I was leaving wrestling. How much was I leaving wrestling? I wanted to stay here in L.A. in order to follow through with my Screen Actors Guild career, right? So I had to make that decision, and I took it. I took the only reason I took it is because a Japanese woman wrestling was very popular at the time, and I had a picture. They sent me a magazine from Japan where I had my picture there, and I saw this layout of these. I don't know what it said, but it had all these pictures of this, a girl team. So I said, I'll show those Japs. You know, that's my dream. I said, I'm gonna show them that this can happen here.
Yeah.
You know, and of course, I want my name on it and everything. But things went the other way, but it's okay.
Well, they don't show the girls off as much as they should, you know, with WWE. This match was nice that it came up.
Yeah.
But they should have a little bit more going on, you know, every show.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I think it's an untapped market. I think it's like there's so much they can do there. There's so much fun that they can have. There's so much fun to be had. Okay, so just at the end of this match, okay, so there's a little interference from Ziggler. He comes in, he runs in and attacks Del Rio. That was because the Monday earlier on Raw, it was vice versa. So this was kind of like a little payback. Oh, does Jericho get really pissed off about this because it just totally messed up his match, and so he ends up, you know, yelling at Ziggler and then basically throwing him down, getting, you know, taking out his frustration on Ziggler. But I'm liking what they're doing with Ziggler. I don't know if you saw this, but Del Rio does a kick to the head to Ziggler. Do you remember? And that was scary because he's just coming back from a concussion, right? And so you've got this concussion thing going on, and every time I see a kick to the head, I think, wow, should that be happening right now? Could we be doing body blows?
If that's the case, they could take it somewhere. In other words, down the road, they could say, well, he kicked him too hard, his concussion came back. I mean, there's sometimes a reason for everything.
Right.
So it's possible that that's the reason why. I don't know for sure, but, you know, I would play it that way maybe.
Yeah.
Well, that's the fun part about wrestling, is what you guys are doing right here. You know, try to foresee things.
Oh, yeah.
And see how they're thinking, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
I enjoy that so much when I sit there and I watch SmackDown and I can figure what they're doing and then wait next week and it seemed that I was right or wrong. That's what I like.
I have a question for you, though. Could you ever figure out what Mike LaBelle was thinking?
Yeah, he's easy. Yeah. It was easy, man. Yeah, he had he's so predictable. First of all, he didn't get involved as much. He depended a lot on his booker.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so but he was not that you know, he was from the outside, and then the time he would come in, his ideas were too predictable. Yeah. But he was the boss.
Mike was a promoter. He wasn't a wrestler.
Right.
And Gene was his brother, and Gene was a wrestler. But I worked with Jack Armstrong one night, and Mike came in a suit and tie. He's doing announcing. He says, I want you guys to do this in the match. And all of a sudden, he grabbed himself by the throat, choked himself, and threw himself on the ground. And Jack was laughing so hard. He said, can you believe that? He actually threw himself down, explaining something.
Yes, that was one of his downfalls. When he wanted you to do something, he demonstrated.
Exactly. And then I think I got a Rookie of the Year, and they gave me a check for $500 for a main event winner. So they handed me the check on TV, and I went back to the room. I took the check home. I forgot I was supposed to take it back to them. I still have it.
Okay. Oh, wow.
It's in my desk drawer. $500 check, 1970 something.
Oh yeah, you need to frame that. That's
I'm gonna
so
cash
cool.
it. It's on my website.
Hey, I won the Battle Royal 2 one year, and it was for $5,000.
Yeah.
They gave me the check. I went back to the dressing room. There, where's the check? Where's the check? I got back that check.
Yeah, you don't ever get it.
Oh, that's funny.
Now we had Christian and Drew McIntyre. I said it's Drew Barrymore.
Yeah.
I thought Christian was retired.
Well, I think I don't know what happened. I think he did come back after, I think it was a shoulder injury. That's what they were talking about. And now he's back in the game. He basically took all three guys on. It was Drew's match, but, you know, whenever you have 3MB, they're not going to sit on the sidelines. So here's Christian fighting all of them off, right?
Yeah.
And then he did, you know, and he finishes the match.
He's good.
But, you know, and then out comes the Shield. He says, let me show you how it's really done.
Exactly.
And then there they are, like the shark attack. I love watching the Shield.
Yeah, they're good.
Because it was just awesome to see, you know, how they like stalk their prey in a sense, kind of like jackals.
It's programmed really right.
Yeah.
Definitely good.
Yeah. And then they finish off Christian with the triple power bomb, which is their, you know, finishing.
The Shield reminds me of, remember years ago the cowboy movies, and then the Indians would come and they'd attack the wagons, You know, they'd be in a circle and they'd attack them, they
Yeah.
pull back, attack
Yeah.
them. Well, that's what the Shield does.
Yeah.
They have a thought behind it. They'll attack and they'll pull back and attack and pull back this way.
awesome.
It's like Cowboys and Indians.
Right, one guy's resting, the other one goes in. I love it. It's so awesome. I know eventually something's going to happen with that story, but I hope it doesn't for a while because I just think it's magic.
That's good.
It's real magic right now going on in the WWE with the Shield. So
You remember when they started that, creating like a team here in LA at the Olympic, where they had that one group of guys. When it first started, it was experimental. It was started with Mike actually. He brought it back. I think he had gone to Japan. He brought it back to the idea. To us, and Chavo was booking at that time, and we sat down in his office upstairs with Mike, and he said, and I went and I saw this, and he saw, you know how he was explaining things, and Chavo and I just looking at each other. You think it's gonna work? Yeah. Well, we gotta go. He's the boss. Yeah, okay. We'll find a way. We got the T-shirts out with all the ideas, and it was the bad company. It was bad company and the good company. Mm-hmm. Back in this is 1970 something.
Yeah.
And it worked. I remember it had a good work at it.
And a good thing going back down to TV and the Olympic Auditorium, Channel 13, Channel 5.
Yeah.
You can do anything you want.
Yeah.
It just came out perfect.
yeah, that's awesome. After that match, they do this like raw playback of CM Punk in his match with Del Rio, which happened earlier. In that match, CM Punk defeats Del Rio, okay, only to be challenged by Brock Lesnar, okay. CM Punk, in that little bit that they were showing you with Brock Lesnar, Brock throws him like a rag doll. It's crazy how strong he is.
Very strong.
Oh my gosh, I was really impressed with that. Really, this was designed to kind of show where CM Punk actually asked Heyman to kind of like, hey, we're going to just be friends and we're no longer going to have this management relationship. Clearly, Paul Heyman is brooding over it, and it's presumed that Heyman was the one that sent Lesnar out to do some dirty work for him as kind of like payback for basically firing him as manager.
Mm-hmm.
So here's Paul Heyman. He's a great manager, great heel manager, and he's all really taking this really personally. When he goes into the back room, Renee's there to ask him a few questions about, what did you think about what CM Punk had to say, and then he just really very maliciously and very well. He was just excellent at articulating how this is not a topic that he wants to be talking about, and he throws Renee under the bus, and I kind of kudos to Paul for doing that, because you're right. If you can't dish it, don't if you can't take it, don't dish it.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
I loved it. Paul Heyman goes. This was his quote. Boy, the girls in the let me say this again. Boy, the girls in the Manny-Panny circuit are really gossiping about CM Punk and Paul Heyman. I loved that.
He's great. Paul Heyman's great. Oh, he's great.
The Manny-Panny circuit?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Where does he come up with this stuff? That is hilarious. Oh, my God. So, yeah, he gives Renee a once-over for airing dirty laundry, and then that was that scene, which basically was towards the end of SmackDown. There was only one match to go. It's the last match. It's Randy Orton versus Daniel Bryan, and this is what they were building up at the beginning of SmackDown.
Right.
This whole thing with Randy just saying, "Hey, dude, take a chill pill. I'm not looking to insult you," but Daniel Bryan is taking it as a huge insult.
That's
but
right.
when Daniel Bryan comes out, his yes. Oh, I got to tell you, that gets the crowd so fired up.
So simple.
Yeah.
And it's big.
Yeah.
3 little words can go so far. It's amazing.
It's like the people's elbow.
It's almost like, and this is, and this goes to old school days, you want to engage the audience. The audience is there to participate.
Right.
And they know that when Daniel Bryan comes out, they get to participate. Even if they're hoping for Randy to win, they're just going to yes, because they want to participate. And I like that, and I think there should be more of that. Don't you?
Yeah. Well, I think there is. Everybody looks for a cliche.
Right.
Yes.
You know, and that's part of being building a character up in the ring, is to be recognized as a cliche.
Yeah, they want a catchphrase.
Whoa.
It's a catchphrase that they can bite into and use all the time.
Well, let me just tell you what happened with that match. Bryan and Orton end the show with Bryan defeating Orton via the countout after Bryan nailed Orton with a suicide drive, which was fantastic. After Bryan is declared the winner, he demands the match to be restarted since he didn't win the match with a pin, with the referee refusing to appease Bryan.
Right.
Some of the highlights of that match, and you're better at this than I am, but I got to tell you that I was really impressed with the way Randy delivers suplexes, and that one off the third rope when he's holding Bryan.
Very good.
Oh my God! Yeah, that's a big bump.
It is.
That is a big bump. You better hold yourself straight, because you know that's going to be a really, really high impact.
You know, well said. Well said. If you're a taker in those situations, you have to be straight. Your job is to stay straight with him, because if he drops you, when you start going back and you're beating him, you're gonna land bad, and also you will break the structure that he has.
Yeah.
Because you don't know if he's gonna, in the middle of the move, he'll lift his legs and then fall straight down, which that would be the easier way.
Of course.
But if you drop like a board,
Yes.
without him lifting his legs,
Right.
just like that's the hard bump, because you're hitting in sections. You're not hitting all at once. You're hitting in sections, and that's hard.
And it, when it's pulled off, when it's executed right, it is beautiful. It is magic. For those who had to take some, bumps.
Yeah, it's a big bump.
It's a beautiful big bump. It was just,
He's right though. You want to take the whole thing. You don't want to take it in sections.
Oh no, it's got to be a board, like he said, and let me tell you, that was perfect.
Wow, that's
wow.
But when it goes like that, that's hard.
Orton seems to have new life to him lately.
Yeah.
Well, he's got that. He's got his father, his grandfather. God, his grandfather was awesome. Did you ever wrestle his grandfather?
I knew him.
I had the opportunity. He was already old. He came to the show there in Vegas, and I had to wrestle him, and he was already up there in age, and man, he impressed the heck out of me. That big voice, remember that voice he had? He was a good guy, man. Good guy, big, tall, strong man.
Yeah.
It was. I love that. I'll never forget that match. It was so simple, so easy.
That's the way it was with the older guys. It was simple and easy.
Yeah.
It wasn't nothing complex.
Yeah.
Too bad those days are gone.
Yeah.
Well, wow.
That's okay.
It was just, it was great. It was a great match because the audience was involved from the beginning. There was these really spectacular suplexes. Randy even does a suplex with Bryan over the third row. It just launches Bryan out of the ring on a suplex. I mean, holy cow. Wow. That's crazy to take a bump like that.
I know.
Oh, my gosh. So
you don't know where you're going to land sometimes.
No, you don't. So I was just, and I don't, when you're working with great talent, your matches become
Just to give you a little bit of history in the
Yeah.
suplex, I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, please.
I when I was a boy, my job, as I started, I used to run messages from dressing room to dressing room, because in those days you didn't there was no one dressing room for both sides. Right. There was separate dressing rooms, all right? So I was the one running the messages. That's how I learned, all right, all these ideas. But Luthez, top of the notch wrestler in his day, champion of all champions, still to today is very well talked about. He had to ask permission to do a suplex. He was wrestling, I forgot who it was. He sent me over there and he says, "Tell him I'm going to use that, that suplex." So he ran over there to the other side and said, "Well, I don't know if I want to do that." That's a heck of a bump. It was. Yeah, sure. It was a bump. It was something nobody could do. And Mr. Thez would go, "Oh, tell him to take care of him. I do them all the time. I'm an expert. I've been working at it, so it's going to be all right. Tell him that. Tell him that." So I run over and go tell him that. And he says, "Oh, God, I hate that. I hate those suplexes. Oh, God." Now they do it as a high spot, man. So, to me, I still keep that in my heart, seeing something like that, and that respect that they had for each other and taking bumps like that, and now they just
I took one from John Studd at the Olympic.
You did?
Yeah,
whoa, that's
like
a big man.
Tall. And that ring is not soft.
No, it's not.
Oh.
No,
it's like a 25-foot ring.
Yeah, and they had, those little springs they had, and it wasn't good enough, man.
I hit and I saw stars. And I saw the lights go like.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Like you didn't get your wind knocked out of you.
I think I did. I never got it back, actually. I'm still out of wind.
Yeah.
You know, I have to tell you, it was a great SmackDown. I really enjoyed watching it. I think my, if you were to explain SmackDown and what we watched this week, I think Mick Foley did it the best, because I do follow some of these guys on Twitter, and he tweets, okay, this is his tweet. Mick Foley's tweet. I have a new book coming out April 2014. It's a kid's book featuring Kane and Bryan. It's called Hug It Out. You can't get any better than that.
No,
that is really clearly, you know, what the storyline's all about.
Exactly.
And he just explains it so beautifully. I love Mick Foley, and
great.
He does a great job at bringing that to the table. So that was SmackDown for this week. Thank you for being here.
Well,
it was an honor.
It's been an honor to me.
Where can we find you? Are you on the internet?
I'm in the internet here and there.
If someone wants to reach you, how can they reach you?
Wrestling Mando 50.
Okay.
That's Wrestling Mando, the number for 50 at Yahoo.
At Yahoo?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a website too?
Yes, that's the one. I don't have a website with me in it. I'm on the book. I like seeing myself still. AWA still comes out in the middle of the night sometime, and I'm there.
Okay.
Remind me here and there. And,
okay.
And also on YouTube. Of course, everybody's on YouTube, but I got my stuff there, you know.
Exactly.
If you want to see something.
Exactly.
What's good is this is one guy that's been getting me on Facebook, and he's been putting stuff from way back.
Oh, so you're on Facebook?
Yes.
Okay. That was what I want to know.
Yeah, I'm on Facebook, and he's been sending me some stuff from way back, even in Mexico when we were in Juarez, just learning, you know, when we were that one time I was telling you we were there. Wrestling matches from way back then.
Oh, cool.
When the Guerrero family, consisted of my father, was still wrestling. Chavo, Hector, and I. Yeah. All four of us up in the ring. And so those things that,
check those out.
Yeah, they've been out there.
Cool. Where do we find you?
I'm on Facebook, Eduardo Esparza. I am on YouTube. Just do a search for Spectre, SPECTR.
Some of your matches on it?
Do you wear a mask?
Actually, I do. And
he's got one on right now.
It's a great one. I was going to say you don't need one, but
he's got a Mexican mask on. He's actually a white boy.
Don't tell that.
Okay.
It's a good gimmick.
Angelina, how about you?
Okay, for me, Twitter, Little Egypt, Facebook, Glow my first name, Little Egypt, my second name, serious inquiries only to AngelinaAltician.com. And you, Rick?
Yeah, I'm at RickDrasin.com and RicksCorner.com. Talk show that I have. Also, bodybuilding.com. I have articles on there and Rick's Corner on there. Anabolic Outlaws runs my stuff. They sponsor me, and then I have a new Pace Boss application for your phone that takes you through a running workout, and I talk you through it. All the miles of hard work. I'll be right on your shoulder. So that's it for SmackDown, right?
Yes.
Good show.
It was a great show.
Thank you, Mando, for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.